Hey guys! Today we're doing a super fun little sketch with my touch markers. We're drawing a classic ice cream cone, that crunchy hard head kind. And I'll walk you through step by step. Super beginner friendly, so grab your markers and let's go. Step 1. The sketch. Alright, starting with the sketch. We want to block out the overall shape of the cone. The top should be a flat oval, kind of squished. Then the bottom oval, near the tip, is a bit more curved. Think of the middle bulging out slightly, kind of like a fishbowl shape, not a straight tube. Now for the waffle pattern. The diamond grid on the cone isn't made up of perfectly straight lines. They're slightly curved. Because remember, this is a round object we're drawing dots so visually. Everything should flow with the curve of the cone. Make sure to check the symmetry too. You want both sides of the cone to look pretty balanced. Next, move on to the ice cream. Start by lightly sketching the overall big spiral, like soft serve that loops up. Then, once the big shape looks good, break it into smaller swirl sections. The edges of each swirl should curve softly, not jagged. Think smooth and creamy. Step 2. Inking. Now it's time to ink. Start by outlining the main shape, the outside of the cone, and the ice cream. When it comes to the diamond waffle pattern, you'll notice the little bumps or bulges where the lines meet. Draw those out first. Then connect them. It'll make the whole thing feel more 3D. The ice cream swirls also have their own little bulges, especially near the base. So add those in as well. You can also thicken the lines a bit where the swirls overlap, or at little joints, to give it a bit of pop. Once you're happy with the inking, go ahead and erase your pencil lines. Time to bring it to life with color. Step 3. Base color, the cone. First up, grab a light beige or creamy yellow for the cone's base color and fill it in. Now we're gonna shade it a bit. Use a slightly darker tone to show where the ridges of the cones bulge out and catch the lights. Or cast shadows in the middle area. Feel free to go in with a zero colorless blender or a lighter shade to lift it slightly and create a highlight. Add a bit of deeper tone to the ridges to show where they stick out more. And keep layering shadows with slightly darker shades. Just remember, every time you go darker, make your shadow area a bit smaller to build depth and contrast. The diamond grid especially, those areas inside the highlight zone, can have darker shadows to really make them stand out. That's what gives the cone its crispy, crunchy feel. Now, cones aren't perfectly smooth. They have texture, so you can add some uneven little dots or specks with a muted darker beige. Then go in with an even darker tone to really make those spots pop. Near the shadow edges, add a tiny bit of warm orange or peach to help the transition feel smooth and natural. Step 4. Coloring the ice cream. Now for the fun part, ice cream. Start by laying down a light base color along the swirl, following the outer contour. You can either go in and define all the shadows now or do that after you color in the rest. Totally up to you. Since we're doing a two-tone swirl, leave a bit of gap between the two colors where they meet. That uneven edge adds realism. For shadows, we're only shading the indented parts. Don't color over the bulging parts. Just follow the spiral lines you drew earlier and darken the spots that sit underneath or behind another layer. Go in with a deeper color to darken up those inner curves, the parts that are tucked in. This really helps build dimensions. Then take a slightly lighter shade and go back over the edge of the shadow to soften the transition and blend out any harsh lines. You can even deepen the shadows where one swirling layer overlaps the next. That's where the darkest shadows usually fall. When that's done, finally, you can use a warm gray to shade around the outer edges of the swirl and between the overlaps. This gives it that subtle realism. If you want to add an overall shadow on the entire torch-like ice cream structure, use a super light gray wash to keep it soft. Add a few tiny highlights using a white pencil crayon or a gel pen, just along the edges of each. Swirl to make them look shiny and soft. Bonus tips. Keep your light source in mind the whole time. All your shadows and highlights should match that direction. Remember, waffle cones have textures, so don't be afraid to add some roughness with dots or pencil textures for the ice cream. Always follow the swirl shape when shading. That flowy line is what makes it look soft and real. And that's it, a cute, dimensional, yummy-looking ice cream cone with just a few markers and some easy techniques. Hope you had fun drawing with me. Don't forget to share your version. And I'll see you in the next one.